Well, this is truly a historic mission. It is absolutely the first time ever in the history of mankind that a commercial space operator that builds rockets is going to be the servicing NASA to take astronauts up to the International Space Station. So truly historic. And like you correctly said, first mission on U.S. soil since 2011 when the U.S. administration retired the space shuttle. It brings a lot to the table when you have private enterprise suddenly being involved, not at least freeing up capital for NASA to do other things, i.e. going into deeper space exploration and leaving others to do the quote-unquote boring bit, i.e. servicing as taxi to the International Space Station.
Now, Per, you're certainly someone I know who enjoys adventure. In 2008, you made history by completing the first tandem skydive over Mount Everest. So tell me, why is space the next frontier for you?
Yes, I've done history myself on planet Earth. I've traveled to 84 countries on Earth. I've lived with the Indians in the Amazon, but more or less the Earth is discovered. There's still lots to do, I agree, but for an adventure of the 21st century, the true frontier is space. That is where we have got to go. Less than 600 people have ever been into space. It is really unexplored territory, and therefore it's only with great delight and great enthusiasm that I see now that Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken are now going to take us one step further into space on a private vehicle. We want more of that, freeing up resources and keep the dream alive for space exploration.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that, because what does the launch of the successful SpaceX flight on Saturday, hopefully in the next few hours, mean for your own ambitions to go into space?
Well, it's certainly a big proof of concept. It is the first time that a private enterprise has delivered. So no doubt there's a lot of stake for SpaceX. For me personally, I'm looking forward to hopefully launch maybe next year into space. And any kind of setbacks, any launch failures or technical problems obviously spills over into further controls and further tests, etc., on other private missions. So I'll be watching this with particular keen interest and to make sure that everything goes well. But so far, it seems like SpaceX has delivered, and they seem to be a very competent supplier of missions to the International Space Station. And I can't wait to follow Bob and Doug here into space.
Well, Elon Musk will certainly be hoping that that is the case. Per, you've also done extensive training to make sure you're ready for that trip to space once you're able to do it. Just take us through the intensity and the length of that training.
Yes, I've been training over many years. There's primarily, if you boil it down, three main things you do. Number one, you train your body for exposure to G-forces. You get a lot of G-forces on your chest. Just like you're driving a fast car on the motorway, you get that pushback in your seat. When you go to space, it's just by a factor that's much bigger. And secondly, you train to be in a weightless environment because we're not used to that as humans. And the way we do that is spinning around in a centrifuge and also traveling at 0 G, meaning you take a big cargo plane going up to an altitude of 16 kilometers and then nose diving down, and you do parabolas from one after the other and basically experience weightlessness for 30, 40 seconds at a time. I've also flown fighter jets just to top up on my G-force exposures. So a quite extensive program, which in itself has been fantastic. And I'm certainly set and ready for space. I just need my rocket to be ready.